Welcome to Emoji Economics. My name is Oluwole Godwin. Our training for today is all about how to calculate the total product, the marginal product, and the average product, and in fact, to define what they typically mean. Now, what is the total product? Total product is referred to as the total output, so that's what I really want you guys to first note. The marginal product is also as well referred to as the marginal output, and the average product is referred to as the average output. So whether product or output, they are talking about the same thing. So total product is just the sum of everything that is being produced by a firm. Okay, the sum of everything, the sum of output produced that is being produced by a firm. So how we utilize the factors of production at its disposal. So let's assume that labor is just the only factor of production for example. So the first laborer produces 20 units of output, and the second laborer produces 40 units of output. In that case, the total output or the total product is just the 20 plus the 40, which is just 60 units of output. That's the first produce 20 and the next produce 40. So we just have 60 like that. So on and on and on. So and the other way that we could calculate the total product is by multiplying the average product, that is the output per worker, by the number of workers. Okay, we are going to see that in a minute, how it all works and all of that. So here, total product is the sum of all output produced. It is calculated by multiplying the average product by the number of inputs. So we are assuming that we just have two factors of production, just as economics basically assumes on a number of occasions. So we are assuming that there's just capital and labor. So only capital and labor are being utilized to produce output. So to calculate the total product of capital, okay, it is simply the average product of capital multiplied by the number of capital utilized. Of course, it might also be calculated by summing up every output produced by each capital employed. Okay, by each capital employed. Alright, the second way, for the other one, which is labor, we just have total product of labor equals the average product of labor multiplied by the number of labor, that is multiplied by the number of workers. So that's that about that. Now, what is the average product? Average product, as I mentioned earlier, is the product per unit of input used. The product per unit of input used. So when we're talking about the average product of labor, for example, we are talking about the output, the total output produced per worker. Okay, so it is average product is also referred. Average product of labor is also referred to as output per labor or output per worker. And if it's for capital, so that will be output produced by the total output produced by the number of capital utilized per the total output produced divided by the number of capital utilized, that is output per capital as well. Okay, so here APK is simply, which is the average product of capital, but the total product of capital divided by number of capital is K, and APL is the same thing. Now, what is the marginal product? Okay, marginal product is simply the change in total product as a result of a unit change in the input utilized. Okay, so when we're saying that 5 laborers were employed before, for example, and they were producing the totality of 80 farm produce, for example, and then we now employ 6 laborers and they are producing 100 farm produce. So what is the marginal product? The marginal product is just the change in the total product divided by the change in the number of workers, which is 100 minus 80 divided by 6 minus 5. So get to that again and you see how it all works. So marginal product of capital is just the change in, so the triangle is used to represent change in economics and mathematics as well. Okay, the change in total product of capital divided by the change in capital employed, and this is simply the second total product, which is technically referred to as the new total product, the new total product minus the old total product. So 2 is used to denote new, 1 is used to denote 1, then divided by the new number of capital employed minus the old number of capital employed. So K2 minus K1. You could use any number to denote them. Just make sure that the greater number represents the new capital that you're talking about, and the lower number, the lower subscripts represents the old capital. The same thing goes for labor. This is the marginal product of labor is simply the change in total product of labor divided by the quantity of laborers, divided by the number of laborers or the number of workers, which is just the new total product minus the old total product. Okay, the subscript is 2 and here it is 1. All right, and divided by the new number of workers, which is L2 minus the old number of workers. So how does all of this work? So let us just get down to it straight up. This is an example we have I've solved everything on the board, so you don't have to be scared. They are pretty simple. Okay, so we have this table. This is the number of capital employed. Okay, from 0 to 10 to 20 to 30, and this is the total product. Okay, here the table has already summed up everything. Okay, every output produced by the number of capital employed. Okay, so now how do we calculate? So we have this question: given the table above, calculate the marginal and the average products of capital. Marginal and the average products of capital. So let me just add an S. Product of capital. So how do we go about that now? When k is 0, when the capital is 0, total product is 0, of course. And if total product is 0, so average product is simply total product divided by total product of capital divided by number of capital, of course. Okay, here, so we are going to be having a 0 divided by 0. If you punch that into your calculator, that will give us undefined. So just put a dash there. Now, what is the marginal product? Marginal product is the change. All right. Marginal product here. So this at output at input 0, no worker being employed. So we are having total product of 0 here. This is going to be the new output. Okay, which is 0. Now, what is the old output? We don't know. So it's 0 as well. So when we do all of that, it's undefined again. So this is just that. So they start from those points. Now, when the number of capital employed is 10, when it is 10, so how do we calculate the average product? So average product, going by the formula, is total product divided by the number of inputs used. So that is just 8,000 divided by 10. 8,000 divided by 10, which is what we've done here. 8,000 divided by 10, but then we have 800. So here, average product is 800. Cool. Isn't that simple? Of course, it's simple. Now, what is the marginal product? Marginal product is simply the change. Okay, so this is the new total product now. Okay, going by this formula, minus the old total product. So we have that here, 8,000 minus 0, 8,000 minus 0, then divided by 10. Okay, minus 0. So at the end of the day, 8,000 minus 0 is 8,000, 10 minus 0 is 10. But we divide this, we have 800 and 0, which is telling us that the average product as well as the marginal product are starting from the same point. Okay, so 800 again. Now, when k is 20, capital employed is 20, so how do you calculate the average product? Average product is simply this 28,000, the total product here, divided by 20. Okay, and when we do that, we have 1,400, which is simply what we have here, 1,400. So how do we get the marginal product? How do we get the marginal product? Is simply, so this is the total product. So we don't do this minus this, no. It's going to be this minus what immediately comes before it. So 28,000 minus 8,000 is 20,000, and 20 minus 10 is 10, of course. So 20,000 divided by 10 is 2,000. So we see that the average product and the marginal product, they've started to vary from this point. Now, when the number of capital employed increases to 30, so how would we calculate our average product? So it is going to be 54,000 divided by 30. 54,000 divided by 30. Okay, that gives us 1,800. So we put that here, 1,800. Okay, so how do you calculate the marginal product? Of course, I believe your guess is as good as mine. So 54,000 minus 28,000. Okay, this comes immediately before it, and that gives us 54,000 minus 20,000 gives us 26,000. And 26,000 divided by 30 minus 20. Okay, the denominator is 10 all the time, 10. Okay, which is 2,600. So as you can see that it is pretty much simple, very simple. So they all start from the same point, and then they keep changing, and so on and so forth. Now, how do we get the total product of capital here? The total product of capital, you can just, I said it's APK multiplied by K, so this is just 800 multiplied by 10, it gives you 8,000 again. 1,400 multiplied by 20 gives you this again, and this 1,800 multiplied by 30 will give you the total product again. We can also obtain the total product from the marginal product. So what we just have to do is to sum up the marginal product and multiply it by the constant change that occurs in the number of inputs used. Now here, what is the constant change that occurs? 10 minus 0 is 10, 20 minus 10 is 10, 30 minus 20 is 10. So all we just have to do is 800 multiplied by the change here, which is 10, and that gives us 8,000 again. Okay, for us to get this, it's simply 2000 plus 800. That's 2800 multiplied by the change here, which is 10, and that gives us 28,000. And we sum up everything. 800 plus 2000, that's 2800, plus 2600, that's 5400, multiplied by the change that occurs, the constant change, which is still 10, and that gives us 54,000 again. So we can obtain total product from the marginal product, from the sum of the marginal product, and we can obtain the total product from the average product. So it depends on the one that you are giving, and that shouldn't be very difficult. So if you have any questions concerning this video, leave them in the comment section. I would like to attend to them as quickly as possible. Like this video, share it with your friends, and please click on the subscribe button for more of our videos. In the next video, we shall be talking about the interrelationship, the graphical interrelationship that exists between the total product, the average product, and the marginal product, and the way the curve should go, and all the features of the curve, and so on and so forth. Watch out. See you next time, and thank you for watching.